Parents, let me ask you something. Have you noticed how kids change as they grow? When they are small, they run to you for every little thing. Mama, see my drawing. Papa, I was the fastest today. Their world is full of stories, and you are the first person they want to tell. But later, what happens? You ask them, how was the school? And all you get is fine. What happened today? Kuch nahi, nothing. From stories to silence. And you wonder, but I was there, I was loving, I was present. Why are they so quiet now? Parents, this silence is not just mood. It's not just, oh, they are growing up. It's a silent alarm. And if we ignore it today, tomorrow this gap becomes a wall. A wall where words stop, trust falls, and the bond starts to fade. Do you know what is the biggest heartbreak? It's not when your child fights with you. It's when one day you hear from a teacher or a stranger, your child was struggling, and you sit there thinking, why didn't my own child tell me? That moment hurts more than anything. Because your child did want to share once upon a time, but somewhere that habit broke. And that's exactly what we are talking about today. Why kids stop talking about what's going on in their lives, what happens inside their little hearts that makes them pull away. And most important, what can we do right now so tomorrow we don't have to live with regret? Because let's be honest, no parent can afford to be a stranger to their child's heart. So let's understand our children from neuroscientific perspective. Let's dive in.
Thank you. Thank you, Surbi ma'am. And my dear friends, parents. Today we will talk about, emotional bruises. The one that you can't see, right? The one that is left unseen, shape your child's mind forever. Before we dive deep in, I want to ask you something. Have you noticed your child becoming quieter? Maybe they used to chatter about everything, every drawing, every cricket match, and now it's just hun, theek hai, nothing. So if you have, I would love you to share in the comments because your story may help another parent who feels alone. Isn't it, Surbi ma'am?
Yeah. And parents, that silence, it's not normal mood. It's a silent alarm. And if ignored today, tomorrow, it becomes a gap. And in that gap falls trust, closeness, connection. You might have heard about cognitive psychologist Albert Bandura, who is very renowned for this work in this field. He says, kids learn by copying the people they trust. So if your child is not opening up, step one is to look in the mirror. You know what? If parents don't talk about their own feelings, kids learn we don't share feelings here in this world. For example, imagine that a father comes back from the office and mother asks him, how was your day? And he just says, normal. That's it. No discussion, no smile. And then he starts TV. It happens in many places, right? The child watching this learns, okay, it should be kept short. That's the way of life. Right, Rama ma'am?
Yeah. Very correct, ma'am. So second important thing that, this Albert Bandura talks about is, about bad result after sharing. Imagine the child says, Mummy, I felt bad when Ria didn't play with me. And the mummy replies, Arey, it's small thing. It happens. It's okay. Okay. Done. The brain notes, don't share this again. Imagine the next scenario in our homes now where the silence gets a reward. In many Indian homes, the quiet kid is praised. Such a gentle child. No, so good. Okay. So the child thinks, if I keep my feelings inside, everyone's happy. Papa will think that I'm good. Okay.
Yeah.
Mama will be proud of me.
Yeah, Rama ma'am. And many a times we say, अच्छे बच्चे ऐसा नहीं करते, अच्छे बच्चे चुप बैठते हैं, good children are quiet children. अच्छे बच्चे बोरिंग होते हैं. Many times I say this, and we have created a video on this. You can go and watch in our YouTube. And now, ma'am, sometimes what I feel, they think if I tell Papa, he will get angry or give a 20-minute lecture to me. And I can't handle that lecture all the time. So better to say nothing. And this particular thing is called their low power to handle reactions. And parents, this is not about blame, this is about awareness. Because once we know why, we can change how to help them. For helping them on how, you have to know why it is happening. That's why we are sharing it today.
Very, very true, Surbhi ma'am. So let's walk through this developmental stages of the children and understand them about how their mind work in different stages. So you will see, the silence doesn't mean love is gone. It's just how the development and the experience play out, ma'am, in day-to-day life. So see the kids in age 0 to 2 years, they have a golden oversharing. Okay,
Yeah.
is out loud. I pooped. Okay, I'm angry. I love Dada. I love Dida. So it's no filter, no fear at all. Okay. Then in age 3 to 5 years of age, they start noticing reactions. If they cry, we say don't cry. If when they learn to, then they learn to edit, okay, their feelings before speaking. And in age 6 to 8 years, ma'am, this logic begins.
Yeah.
So does the image protection also. It is if they are told by their classmates, I'm scared of the dark, got teased. That scar travels home, and they start thinking, why risk telling parents? Okay, your job is as soon as parents is crucial. Okay, in this situation, we take it out them. We should learn to take them out from the situation. Do you agree?
Yeah. I completely resonate with this. And yes, here possessions start, possessions start carrying emotions as well, like their diary, their toy collection. It's not their things, it's them. They associate those things with their identity. If we read their diary without permission, trust takes a deep hit. Mama read my diary. She doesn't, trust me. When they enter 9 to 11 years of age, what starts happening? Peer comparison. That starts happening. That explodes actually. They choose safe people to open up. Maybe that's a best friend, but not parents. If they feel, that fear of judgment, they will choose friend to talk to. And if earlier you shared their secrets as cute stories at a family dinner, that was the last secret you will ever get. They will not share it because then they will think mama is going to share with everyone, daddy will tell everything. And during 12 to 14 years of age, identity is everything. Privacy is oxygen. If they share a fear and you overreact or recycle it into lecture later, that sharing tab shuts instantly. And what happens when they enter 15 and in the range of 15 to 18 now? Now they share selectively, not out of rebellion, but calculations. Their mind calculates, is it safe? Is this worth it? And sometimes they hide things not because of distance, but because of love. They think if I tell mama, she will worry. Let me handle this myself. Or daddy is busy in the office, why to bother more? So just out of their love, just out of their care, they want to handle things by themselves, and that's why they are not willing to share sometimes. What do you think, Rama ma'am?
Yeah, absolutely correct, ma'am. See, here they start becoming, selective. So the parents need to pause here, The silence is not a rejection of you, okay? It's a part of their growth. And if we don't create safety, this temporary silence can become a permanent distance, ma'am. So see, the tough part is that some of our daily habits, without us realizing, close the heart's door.
Yeah. And like reacting before listening, correcting them before listening. Child says, I am upset, And if parent replies, you shouldn't be upset, be grateful. In your age, we were always grateful. How do they translate? They translate, your feelings don't matter. You are saying your feelings don't matter. Or minimizing. It's not a big deal kind of thing, That sounds like you are overreacting. Hmm? So, and sometimes we overreact to their mistakes. They confess to failure. They say, this is, not done, mama. I couldn't do this. And we say, I told you earlier. See, I already told you. This is unacceptable. So next time they will hide because, they understand that they will be judged on their things, on their failures, and they don't want to feel small. They don't want to, feel minimized, and that's why they do that.
Yeah. And sometimes, this interrupting, if you don't give them the mic, they stop coming to the stage, ma'am. Okay. So,
Very right.
using words against them. The child says something private and we joke about it in front of relatives. So, congratulations, you just made them a member of the silent club, ma'am, here.
Yeah, and many a times we share with people out of, just cuteness, that see, my child is so cute, so innocent, so good, right? In our heart, intent is good, but the approach, that also is super important. So how do we bring heart sharing back is the question. Here is the good news. Connections can always be rebuilt, Always you can rebuild your connection whenever you realize that you need to build it. Rama ma'am, what do you think?
100%, ma'am. 100% you can rebuild it. So here, the step number 1 is rebuild safety. Okay. Show them when you speak, you won't be judged or punished. Okay. Step number 2 is model it, right? Share small, real feelings yourself. I was nervous before my presentation. This teaches, the feelings are normal here, ma'am.
So like you are saying that share your own feelings, like you are also nervous sometimes, you also fail sometimes, you are not very perfect. It's okay not to be perfect all the time, right?
Correct. Practical things.
Yeah. All the time you don't need to be a perfect parent. Just show them your failures as well. Share stories with them, and that is how they are also able to resonate. And Rama ma'am, what I feel like besides these 2 steps that you shared, the step 3 is also super important. Build small bridges. Don't sit with them and just say, tell me everything about your life. It doesn't work like that with teens, with kids. Instead, open small windows like chats during cooking, car rides, bedtime side by side talks. They are magic. And listen to understand, not fix. Many a times we listen, but we immediately jump to conclusions, immediately jump for solutions, give them solutions fast because we want to fix it for our children. So the key is listen to understand, not fix. Sometimes they don't want solutions from you. Sometimes they only want that you hear them. They just want a human ear. And here step 4 is also important. Respect their pace. If they stay quiet, don't panic. Stay present, stay gentle, remain patient. The gate opens when the heart feels safe. But what we parents do sometimes, child is not replying immediately, we ask next question, then next question, and then we start playing KBC. So sometimes it's okay just to wait for their replies. Let them come back to you.
So parents also carry this bruises, okay? Yeah, that aches when your child shuts the door, okay? That hurts when they say you don't understand. That heartbreak when you learn from a teacher, your child was struggling, and you think, but why didn't they tell me? So it is a reaction of many parents, ma'am.
Yeah, and if you have felt that, please know you are not alone. This podcast is not to make you guilty. It's to remind you that healing is possible. Even if today there is silence, tomorrow you can build a bridge because presence matters more than perfection, right? And even if you don't have answers, just being there is enough. You don't need to give them all the answers. You are not Google. Just remain present as parent, as love, you know.
So so parents, let's remember, the silence doesn't mean they love you less. Sometimes it means that they are figuring out how to love themselves.
Wow, very right, Rama ma'am. And if home becomes the safest place for their feelings, even the busiest teen will find their way back, you know. Because when the heart feels safe, the mouth opens on its own, you know. So touch their hearts, they will open up.
Mhm. So, my dear parents, friends, we shared science, okay? We shared stories. But most of all, we want to share hope. The parents are requested to share it with other parents. Let them know that they are not alone. Don't forget to, comment on our videos and like them. So if you feel that, we should keep bringing more and more, practical tips for you all.
And now I would love to hear from you, parents. Have you noticed moments when your child was hiding their feelings? What happened? What helped you reconnect? And share in the comments your story, because your story may become another parent's lifeline. So please share for sure.
So together we will keep learning, keep growing, because parenting is not about perfection. It is about connection, and we need to make this connection very strong.
Yeah.
So ma'am, let's open the floor for questions.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Calming anger in child and building habit of having patience. I
Okay.
think she's asking how to do it.
Okay. So basically, for anger management, ma'am, we have already completed. I mean to say, there are 2 webinars which we have done it over the year now. So I request Tasmeen ji to go through that, because then she'll get the tips in that. Okay.
Yeah, so
And,
they are there in our YouTube long form video.
Yeah. And secondly, ma'am, if your child is getting angry all the time, right, for small reason, I again and again go back and tell all the parents that ensure that the child is fed well. Okay. But empty stomach, the children trigger their anger, and many parents don't understand this, because you need to understand that's a growing age. They require more food. They require something which is very, they can eat first with their eyes. Okay, so these all things are very important for them. And drinking enough water. These 2 things definitely they need to take care. Thirdly, she said she has asked about the patience, how to develop the patience. So here, Subhi ma'am, even you can add on, but then, first and the foremost important thing is that, how you can develop the calmness in the child. So we heartfulness relaxation technique, which is free of cost. Okay. You can follow that before making the child go to bed. Let the child listen to that relaxation technique, because the calmness to build, you need to work on child.
Yeah, and what I realize nowadays, because everything has become instant, instant solution, instant food, instant whatever they want to watch in the TV, everything is available. So that has also, created this impatient behavior. So sometimes it's okay to allow them to wait for a few things. For example, if you do this, we say that, okay, if you do this, you will get this. But the moment they ask for something, immediately if we keep giving, that also is one major cause of children nowadays losing patience. So if they wait for things, like in our days, we used to wait for things, right? So at least small things we can introduce where they are waiting for things. So just to develop that habit of patience, I think it's important.
And if the child is pretty young, then there are many, learning engagements for developing the patience.
And also this anger thing, I was thinking, because many a times I see child gets angry and parents get double angry. Children are shouting, parents also start shouting, and then WWE match starts at the house. So once they are getting angry, we need to understand that it is big wave of emotions that they are handling. sometimes this wave just puts them down. So we have to wait. I mean, immediately we also start shouting will not help. Once they are getting angry, it's okay, let their anger calm down, and then you take next step.
So peacefulness within the parents is also very important, ma'am, and they need to develop it. Parents can't say that I don't have patience. Sorry, in front of the children, if you start saying that, then how do you expect that the child will develop the patience?
Yeah. And I think these heartfulness practices, these heartfulness meditation techniques, this brighter minds for children, this is the overall help for the family. When parents are doing heartfulness meditation, children are doing brighter minds program, and the complete family goes in this harmony environment. You start bringing it in your house, you will feel that things come in automatism, like it starts becoming more and more automatic for you. Just few minutes of techniques every day, and you see that change happening in your house. So I would request everyone to just try it, give it a try.
Very important. Yeah.
And for trying it, you can also send us message, and we can have online programs. And heartfulness, regarding heartfulness, I have already shared with you that 95% offerings are sponsored by Heartfulness Institute. They work in pay forward mode, right? So you can just experience it, say how it goes in your life, and then you decide yourself. They are experiential, practical techniques. One more question is there, Rama ma'am. How to make kids become more independent and strong? Sonali Karatji is asking.
So definitely this is a dream of every parent to make the child independent, right? But there is an age for the child to start developing. So habits are very important. What kind of a habits you inculcate right from the childhood. Like eating by yourself. But then in that case we need to take care that the child eats well, because if you give a spoon and the food to the child, sometimes they are lazy, they don't want to eat, right? They may be slow, so you have to take care of that all. And over the period, if you want to make your child independent, start appreciating the child for small things, whatever the child has done it on his own. Like now, if the child starts wearing the shoes on his own, that is the first thing. When I look at the little children, when you can wear your own shirt, when you can wear your own shoes or socks, this is kind of a first step for the independence. Like when you want a water, you go and fetch the water, I mean to say, take a glass of water on your own. So this is a first step of independence. Secondly, over the period when the child, like now Surbhi ma'am keeps sharing, like now her son is in 8th standard. Now the child has started studying, Shankar has started studying on his own. So now this is like, the child has developed the independent habit, right? So it can't happen all of a sudden the child becomes independent, right? It is a process, okay? And process is very important to see the results.
True. So thank you so much everyone for joining. Thank you, Rama ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Surbhi ma'am. Thank you so much.